Okay, now we're live. Hey, two people, we are live. All right, YouTube people. As we promised you, we are live from Sweden, Skellefteå, Sweden. Not quite the same setup that we normally have as far as microphones, so you have to kind of forgive us if something sounds weird or whatnot. And we're also using my laptop for the sound, so it's not the same sound as what you normally hear, but and you're going to hear some stuff going on in the background. They're actually that gray door right there. It's a secret door. Secret. We had to basically sign our life away to go back there, and we got to see discs being made. Literally, the mold and the machine grabbing them, everything. It was amazing. It was as cool as you would think it would be. So, but if you ever think you're going to see video footage back there, you're not going. That's all secret. So, but it's really cool. So we're glad to have everybody here, and thanks for joining us. Actually, real quick, come over here. We have someone that wants to say hi. Oh, hey, right here.
Hello guys,
It's Thomas Excellent. He designs all the discs that you guys love, all the Trilogy discs, Latitude 64, West Side, and Dynamic discs. That's the mastermind behind everything that you wrote. And our special guest for the whole week. Our host. He's been our host, yes. He's been a gracious host. Yeah. Show us a good time, feeding us rotten fish and bloody food and things like that.
blood pudding.
Blood pudding, but it's actually pretty good. So, but anyway, he just wanted to stop by and say hi real quick, and we'll actually have some other people come in. Mr. Savante. Savante. Come say hi to the folks. It's really cool, guys. I mean, to be out here and meet everybody and hang out with the people that do all this stuff. And you can see behind us, this is the factory. It's really awesome, very nice factory. And there he is, Mr. Savante. How are you doing?
Good. Back in orders, sweating for the heat.
Yes, it is very hot. So. Nice, yeah, that'll be nice. All right, cool. We just wanted to be able to say hi to everybody. Yes, and of course, Mr. Johan. This is the guy you never see or hear about. Yeah, you don't really see it, but his job is good. Not that there are other jobs on important. He works on the machines that make the beautiful plastic that you like to grow. Yes, he's kind of a quiet guy, not really outspoken, but he's the man. He's the man, and he's a pretty good golfer too. Yeah. So say hi. Hello. That's Joe. He likes to work on the machines, and he likes to throw some discs every now and then. And make delicious food. He made the, how did you bulk? Yeah. He made the bulk. It's like a meat in the middle with like a flour thing. It was potatoes. He fried it, so it was very delicious. And then one more person that I'm not sure why he didn't think he would have to come over. Yeah. David? Mr. Berglund. This is David Berglund, CEO of the company Latitude 64. He's the man that gives everybody direction. He yells at everybody, tells them what to do. He's the Rusco of Latitude. He's the Rusco of Latitude 64. Hi guys, how you doing? So there's Mr. Dave Bergman. He's been a gracious host, really taking care of us out here. We're having a really good time. So thank you very much, David, for having us out here and being able to experience the factory and everything like that. It's been amazing. Thank you guys. It's been wonderful having you here. Awesome. Thank you very much. Thanks. Thank you. All right. Now, one thing that it's been a couple a week or two since we broadcast that. The 10th. The 10th. And today is what, the 25th. 25th. So one of the things that we told you we were going to do is Eric was going to play at the European Masters in Stockholm, Sweden, which is about an hour flight, but maybe a 8-hour drive. So you got to go up and this and that. Yeah. So it was a really pretty cool event. The course was really nice. A lot of elevations. Go ahead and tell them about the course, Eric. The course is great. I actually, every year that I've come to Sweden, that's the course that I've gone to play. And it's very, very challenging course. Lots of very difficult par fours. The course starts out with par 5. And actually, if you want to see the course, you go to V-Spin TV. And watch the footage from the tournament. And I actually did commentary with Jamie for the front nine.
So it was very nice. It was fun. It was good.
Cool. What I thought was different was, well, not different, but I guess what I thought was really cool from my perspective, doing photography and media, is there was amazing background.
Yes.
Beautiful trees, beautiful fairways, and had a really nice clubhouse there that served really good food. So it was a really good time. I was glad I came on. I did some filming. I mostly did filming of Eric and the Latitude 64 people, and I did pictures and stuff like that. I did. So if you want to see some of the pictures, go to the Latitude 64 Facebook page. Go to Dynamic Escape Facebook page. You can see some of the cool pictures that I took out there.
It was a great tournament. It was a lot of fun, and then of course the anticipation of coming up here.
Yeah.
Getting that over and being able to finally get to the motherland.
So we're here in Skellefteå. If you don't know how to say that, they told us the easiest way to say it is to say she left you, and that's basically how you can say it. You can't say it like a Swedish way. And we're staying in a clubhouse where the course is one of the, I would arguably say, one of the best courses in the world.
I would absolutely say.
How many courses do they have?
There's a total of 4 disc golf courses there.
With 81 holes, right?
I believe there's actually more than that.
Yeah.
Because we're not actually playing the Scandinavian open course tomorrow. So
yeah,
lots of golf.
Lots of
great golf.
Yeah, and we're staying at a really nice clubhouse. It's actually, me and Eric were talking about it. It is really cool because people come in and they pay and they play, and it's almost like some people, they bring one disc.
Yeah.
Or they'll rent a disc and they'll come out and play.
At the pro shops.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. And you know what's even crazier is the fact that the sun really never goes down in the summer. So, you know, you have people showing up at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night to play around the pool.
Yeah, because, you know, if you're familiar with any Oklahoma, it's like an Oklahoma at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. That's
Yeah,
how
it's dusk.
Yeah, it's like dusk.
And it's great. It's awesome to see. Unbelievable what they've done with that facility. And, it's definitely moved from, it definitely knocked my top 5 down a little bit.
Oh, really?
Up in there. So,
Yeah, it's got some nice place. But we didn't come here just to visit. But visit is nice. But what we're doing is some video promotional work for the Scandinavian Open.
yes.
Which is July 9th through 12th of 2015, and that's going to be a major event.
Yeah, I can't even explain how great this event's going to be.
Yeah.
I mean, the piece of property, the course, you know, what we're already talking about, players packs.
Yeah.
You know, and it's and if you know you're saying, oh, I'll never be able to go, I can't afford it, this and that. I do know that there will be some trips given away next year, so that's going to be really exciting.
Cool. All right. Well, I just noticed that I hadn't hit record yet for the iTunes podcast.
Well,
So
it's okay.
it's okay. We got you for YouTube. You're catching on what's going on. So we're going to actually start the YouTube feed so we can record it so that we can put this on the podcast. So we've got about 19 views right now. So here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. This is Bobby Cool Daddy Slick Breeze, and I have with me Eric Skellefteå McKay.
It's not an E.
I know. It's a big deal. Anyway, so all right. So for the YouTube viewers, you've already kind of catch up what we're doing, but we're going to catch up real quick to the iTunes listeners. If the audio sounds a little different for you, audio people, it's because we are actually in the Latitude 64 factory in Skellefteå, Sweden. Yes. Made a trip out here for Eric to play the European Masters. We had a really good time. We love the courses out there. Very good show for. UC, he put on a really good tournament, had a really good time. But then the most exciting part, at least for me, I know, is to come out here to Skellefteå for the Latitude 64 factory. You're going to hear some noises going on, and that's, you hear like engine or mechanical noises. That's actually discs being made, your favorite disc. And Eric and I got to watch those discs being made, and that was really cool. It was amazing. It was unspeakable. Yeah. And sorry if you're thinking that maybe I could do a video. No, don't let me give cameras back there. They could do. I mean, it's their way of doing things, and they want to make sure they protect that. But it's a really good experience to see how the discs actually get molded and made.
And you know, for YouTube,
yeah,
iTunes, and our iTunes listeners, you can go to YouTube later and watch this episode. It's kind of cool for you guys because you can actually see kind of a sneak peek behind us with all the discs and the latitude sign and everything. That, not just everybody can come into this warehouse and see.
Yeah,
So that's really cool. Kind of bringing it to you, so to speak.
Now, and then they actually just moved in here.
Not too long ago. Yeah.
I mean, we just posted pictures of the Latitude 64 Facebook page, then putting up this sign.
Yeah.
So you need to check that out at the Latitude 64 Facebook page. But yeah, like Eric said, go to youtube.com/dynamic discs. Look for Disc Golf Anthony episode 49 from Sweden, and you'll be able to see us in factory. Cool stuff. Cool stuff. So let's see. We're gonna continue what we were talking about. We were talking about the clubhouse at Skellefteå because we're checking things out. We're making some promo videos, or at least I'm recording footage. Create some promo videos for the Scandinavian Open. Yes, it's going to be played at July 9th through 12th. So if you're like one of those disc golfers that sent in, I'd like to travel outside the United States to check out some really good events, I would try to look into it.
If you're going to make it, to one big disc golf trip, this is the place to be. It's absolutely the place to be.
Yeah, because we were talking to Tomas about doing some things, and we're talking about doing some things for the Scandinavian Open, and the things that they've got planned, I think about concerts planned and things like that. It's going to be really cool. And we just got word that the audio is really bad. So we're going to go. Let's see, real quick, we're going to see. Yeah, so the audio is going through our laptop. It's not going to be like the garbage folder. What we're going to try is we're going to move the laptop closer to us to see if we've got it control that. You can see it really personal now. Maybe that's a little bit better. Is that a little bit better? Maybe someone can kind of give us a comment on Facebook
or a thumbs up over there in the office.
They said they can't understand us at all. Hold on, let's try something different. Maybe that'll help. I'm not sure that's going to help because of what we're doing here.
Buddy? Maybe Tomas has an idea. Better. Is that better? Much better? Okay, good.
Okay, so we're back. Sorry about that, guys. This is going to be fun editing this together.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to go back again, talk about the Scandinavian Open, July 9th through 12th. Really highly encourage you to look into coming out here to Sweden for the major. It's going to be a major event. There's going to be a lot of big names coming out here to play.
Yeah, all the top players will be out here playing. And, yeah, hopefully we get Jesper out of retirement to play this one. I know I've had the privilege of playing with him a couple rounds while being here, and it's been almost an honor to play with a European investment.
Yeah, and I actually have to do a loop in the bag with him, so we get to see what he throws. And I got to do an in the bag with about 3 other Team Latitude 64, the European guys out of the European Masters. Got to do another in the bag at Felberg, and then tonight we're going to do another in the we're going to finally do an in the bag with Eric.
Finish it.
Yeah, finish it.
So that'll be real cool. Something else that was really fun, speaking of Jesper and some Latitude guys, is the disc golf challenge that we did. Do you not remember the first disc golf challenge that we did?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I completely forgot that. I didn't even write down my notes on that.
It's kind of a big deal.
So tell people about it.
Well, Tomas had set this up with the local golf club here, and it was 4 Swedish golfers, 2 of them being juniors, one of them being the course pro, who was a scratch golfer, I believe, which means he shoots par, which is very good. And 2 more, I can't remember who the other 2 guys were off the top of my head, but they were all fabulous players. And myself and Devin Owens played doubles as a team, alternate shot doubles. And then Philberg and Tomas played as a team, and then Jesper played singles. And we played alternate shot doubles, and we just kind of kept score throughout the whole thing to see. We just moved baskets next to the greens on each hole, and we had a couple hundred people out there following us around, watching. It was pretty cool, and Bobby got it all on film. Now, it won't be full footage, but
you can imagine the length of the golf.
But we had also had Matt House out helping out with the camera, so we got some cool angles, and I'm gonna tell you, golf didn't win.
No, absolutely not.
Disc golfers won. Devin and I actually shot +1 on the 9 holes, +1 on their par,
Right.
of course. And we had 2 par 5s, 2 par 3s, and the rest were all par 4s. And they were we had to throw 3 good shots and hit a good putt to get pars on the par 4s. So, but it was a lot of fun, and I think Latitude and Tomas and everybody that put that together, it was awesome.
Yeah,
Just great.
yeah, it was really cool. So once I get back and get some other things in line as far as video, I'm going to try to put together kind of the highlights of the different shots that happened out there. But that was really, really cool experience to be a part of. Let's see. So let's talk about some of the food we've eaten.
Oh, nothing but good. Well, how about tell people what was your first meal in Sweden?
Okay, so we get to Sweden, right? And I'm thinking, I want to try some really different stuff. And we met Tomas and at the airport. In Erica, and then we went to the room.
And then we played.
And then we played. Yep. And then for dinner, we were like, what do we want? And they said they wanted Pizza Hut.
Yeah. So we went to Pizza Hut.
Because here in Sollefteå, they don't have Pizza Hut. So it's a kind of a treat for them to go have Pizza Hut. So my first dinner in Sweden was Pizza Hut.
Personal pan pizza.
It was Hawaii.
But I'll tell you what.
It was good.
It was probably the best pizza I've ever had at a Pizza Hut.
Right. It was good. And you've got a meal deal, so it's like a pizza, a drink. Oh, I got a pizza and a salad, and then ice cream for dessert. So it was good. That's kind of funny. But we have had, now here in Sollefteå, we have had some traditional Swedish food, and one of them was, I think I'm saying this right, and I know some of the Swedish people listening probably going to say I didn't say it right, but I think it's surström. Surström.
Sounds right.
What that is fermented herring.
Fermented herring.
And if you want to even translate that even more, it's rotten fish.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's just fish that has rotten or fermented in a can. And if you go to the discgolfhandsomeman.com, you'll see a video I put together of Eric opening the can and then us preparing the meals and eating it. And you see Devin Owens and David Felberg joining in with us.
And Tomas.
And Tomas was there, yeah. So, it was the whole Latitude crew. Yeah, so they were eating with us, so we got to enjoy that. And then today for lunch we had blood pudding.
Blood from a
pig.
A pig. I was going to say a swine. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah, so it's blood pudding, and it was.
I was more nervous about eating blood pudding, and then I got there and smelled it, and I thought, dang, and it was good.
It's like blood. They take blood and they put it with some kind of flour and some other thing, and then you put some kind of jam on it, raspberry, strawberry jam, and then you have a little bacon bits. You eat that all together. That was pretty good.
We had seconds.
Yeah.
We had seconds
That was
on
good
that,
stuff.
so that tells you how good it was.
All right, so what else we got? Tomorrow we're going to play in an 81 challenge.
81 challenge. Starts at 9 a.m.
And you play how many holes?
81
holes. So it's like a marathon disc golf
Yes.
challenge. So that's going to be crazy.
It's going to be fun, though.
Yes.
We're really looking forward to it.
Oh, and Tomas has a
Cable for us. Yeah,
well, the only thing is that this new MacBook doesn't have. Did you drive somebody to get that? No. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, they don't have. All they can do is Wi-Fi. Oh, okay. Thank you, Tomas. Sorry, guys. Tomas is trying to help us out with a wired connection, but this MacBook only does Wi-Fi. If the connection's really bad, we really apologize, guys. Like I said, this is kind of a small production as far as what we normally do, because of traveling and everything like that. So why don't we move on to some product reviews?
Okay, product
work?
review.
Cool.
It's been awesome coming to the out of the warehouse and the factory and looking at new discs and looking on the walls and saying, oh, I've never seen these before, or really cool colors. And let's look at a couple of them.
As you can imagine, yeah, like Eric said, we're gonna have a lot of cool stuff. This isn't all like brand new stuff. It's all old, but we saw these, and these are tasty. These are Fusion Renegades.
Yes.
And this one's really like.
See that?
So the Renegade's not something I throw. I mean, you don't have to do that.
I've got one in my bag that's,
okay.
that's strictly for rolling. One of my roller discs.
But we hadn't seen it in Fusion.
Not in stock stamp Fusion.
Yeah.
I've seen the Dymax version, but not in stock stamp. So you can look forward to these at some point in the near future. Maybe not in the near.
Yeah, not in the near future, but
those are cool. Those are really cool. And this next disc, I've heard a lot of people asking about. And I know that this one is on a container on its way.
Yeah.
So,
Air Enforcer. You know, some people are loving their Enforcer, so the Air is going to be a nice addition.
yes, it is. I know it's very overstable. I haven't thrown this yet, but I was talking to Devin, who was throwing it in Japan, and Johannes. And both of them had told me that this was their go-to disc in Japan. So, Air Enforcer is going to be pretty cool.
Now, tell people, just in case they're kind of newbies, why, I mean, if you like the disc, why would you have it in Air? Something you
Air would probably be easier for newer players because it's easier to throw. It's going to be very less stable than the regular production run. Downwind shots are going to be great, a lot easier. So basically just a lot easier to throw.
Now, one that it isn't really a new disc, it's a popular disc, but I saw this Moonshine Saint called the
color try. It's pink. It's pink for our audio listeners. It is beautiful.
Sweet looking.
Yes, it really is.
Yeah, if you're listening to this on audio, you need to go back and check this out on video. You know, we could almost pick a box full of just these little gems of discs where they were just really nice colors and patterns and stuff like that. Now, this I wanted to talk about is, everybody knows we talk about the Trilogy Challenge, and those are still going on. You can go to trilogychallenge.com and check those out. But the discs that you throw, you have the stock stamps of them.
And not just stock stamps, but the Thief and Claymore, we have an Opto and Lucy plastic.
This is nice. It's not smoky.
You had a chance to throw the Thief around a little bit this morning. What did you think?
I love it. I've always liked the Witnessing the Thief, and I still love that Thief. It's definitely one that stays in my bag. It's just a comfortable throw for me, and I can get some nice distance with that. And the Shield has been very popular. This is kind of a cool stamp for the Shield.
That's actually a BT Soft
BT
as well.
Soft.
I know the Trilogy Challenges have all been in BT Medium, but the Soft is going to be out with the stock stamp, and the stock stamp's really cool. So is the Claymore.
These are going to be
really cool.
Late August?
Late August, I believe, is the official release. Now a disc that Bobby just found here. He didn't bring his golf bag with him on this trip. So when we were at the clubhouse, Tomas told him, grab a bag, and go grab whatever you want.
How'd you like that, guys?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
One of the owners of the
So after he grabbed like 600 discs, he was going through and said, well, this is the perfect opportunity to throw some discs that I haven't thrown before, something that I've heard about but I want to try. So what did you try?
I tried the Hatchet.
Yes.
This is a newer disc, isn't it? From
It's
the website.
Yeah, late last year, maybe earlier this year.
Yeah. So I had never thrown it. I heard people like it, so I thought I'll try it. This is good. I've got the BP plastic.
You've got the
VIP plastic. This is the TP plastic. I'm going to grab one of these to take with me. But when I release these, just a nice flat throw, and it just gives a nice, it glides really nice, and then a nice little fade at the end. It turns just a little bit for me. It gives me that, it gives me some nice distance that I don't get with other discs for sure.
He was throwing it very well yesterday on the course. He had some straight shots, and he threw it out with a little bit of a hyzer. And I thought every single time that he threw it, it was going to just finish left.
Mm-hmm.
And every time it flipped flat and just flew so straight.
Yeah.
And then finished left. So it was flying very good for him. It was awesome to see.
Now, some other exciting discs. Now, I haven't had to throw this, but you have.
I have. I've only thrown it a couple of times in the States, the ones that they had sent us, but this is the Freedom. It's one of the newer discs coming out from Dynamic Discs. This is in Lucid plastic. It's fairly wide rim. It's a very nice flying disc. It flies very far with little ease. You know, it's very easy to throw. It's kind of slightly understable.
Okay.
So I know a lot of beginners are going to love this disc. It's very fast. I'm not recommending if you're first starting out, go grab a Freedom and try it out. But it's going to be great. I think for me, I'm really gonna like it for long range rolling.
Okay. I can't wait to go out and try these for sure. So, and then Tomas's hair. Thank you, Tomas, for having your hair on a disc.
And this next disc is something that I know not just myself, but a lot of players are really looking forward to, and it is the Felon. And and a Fusion. Both of these are blanks because they are fresh off the press. They are still warm, and we actually boxed up a few of them and had them aired to the States, and we're going to stamp them up and bring them to Pro Worlds.
Nice.
We're going to put some prototype stamps on them, so they're a very limited run, so it's going to be a nice collector. And I know the other day when myself, Dave, and Devin were all out playing, Dave put one in his bag to try, and he said it's going right in his bag, instantly in his bag. It's a fairway driver. It's overstable. It's comparable to probably maybe a Trident, maybe a little faster for direct, maybe something along those lines. But I can't say enough good things about the Felon. It's going to be another really nice disc coming out very soon.
Yeah, the thing, like you said, I was doing when I did Dave Feldberg's In the Bag. He brought this disc out, and he had really a lot of good things to say about it. So really good stuff. All right, well, that's the product we have to talk about. We're going to move on to the questions. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. First question comes from Gabe, and Gabe says, "Hey guys, I am super pumped to hear that the True Fugitive is coming out. I'm one of those guys who loves his Fugitive. Now to my question. I can't throw an S-curve. I routinely throw 350 feet, and I feel like I could get a little more distance if I could get my disc to S. Any advice? My main drivers are the Trespass, Renegade, and Puma. Thanks, guys. Love the show and look forward to it every week.
A quick fix, I would say, would be club down.
Okay.
Disc down. For instance, a very perfect example, Bobby throws the Trespass and the Renegade, and I know he doesn't S those discs.
No.
But especially the Trespass, I know you're throwing super flat, and it flies straight,
Right.
and then it hyzers out. So maybe the Hatchet is a disc he's needing to grab and try out. So I know that you've been S-curving that disc. Great. So maybe just try out something a little less stable. You don't necessarily have to have an overstable disc to get S-curve. It's all about release.
Cool.
You can pop it out there with a little bit of a hyzer, let it turn to the right, and then back. So,
And the Witness is another one.
the Witness is another one. It's a little more understable, but it's still a great flyer.
The next one is from Ben, and Ben says, "First, I wanted to say thanks for the great podcast and thanks for all you do for the sport. My question is about long-range drivers. I was curious as to what driver EMAC would choose on an open, long-distance hole. What is your main go-to driver if you are just trying to bomb as far as possible? Thanks, Ben."
Awesome. Well, two of them. There's two of them. If it's wide open and it's big bombs, I'm going to say the King is one, because it's just been, as Tomas calls me, the old man disc that I throw now. But it's great. It's very easy to throw. It's a nice little glide. That's great. And of course, the other one has always been the Havoc. The Havoc's been a great flying disc. Particularly the Mr. Greed ones, but man, the King and the Havoc have both been great. And Tomas has been nice enough to bring us a King that King. It's one of the ones I have in my bag. Just like this. It's got a nice pop on it for wide open shots. I don't like to throw it around too many times. Nice hyzer release on it up high and let it ride. Turns and goes and then always comes back. So the king is man. I just found the king here in the last couple weeks, and it's been a lifesaver. So, that's actually the decorated islands have the new king stamp on it. So
something else. No. What's your long distance?
the havoc.
Let's have Tomas answer. What's
Yeah.
your? Come on over here.
What is your long distance?
If you would have
Hi guys, my longest disc is definitely the bolt. It just hangs just in the air, and then turn it over, it will just hang and glide forever, and it goes very fast. So that's my weapon of choice.
Excellent. Bolt. I've seen him throw the moonshine bolts around a lot here lately, and he does get some big D out of that disc.
Nice. The next question is from Stephen. Stephen says, I've always been a rock thrower. From KC Pro to Champion Rock 3 to DX Rocks. They were my main workhorse mid-rangers. I swapped to the Trilogy about 8 months ago, and my main go-to mid-range is now the True.
Excellent.
So my question is, have either of you had a disc that became a staple in your bag that was completely different feel than what you were used to?
Not necessarily with now, at least. Before, yes. Before, when I was with Discraft for 10 years, one of my go-to discs was the Banger GT, and it always felt weird in the hand because it had the groove top. But I guess the closest thing for me now would be the Zenith, because it's got a unique form to it, it's got the grip pads on the top, and it's a putter, but it's a very overstated putter. I don't putt with it, but I throw it. And it's one of those discs that either in your hand you love or you just can't do. Yeah. But the flight out of the disc is amazing. So that would be mine. Yeah.
All right, the next one is from Cutie and Fruity.
Cutie and Fruity.
Yeah, some of these people give us these names just because they want to hear me say it. He says, Ayo Brise. Hey Eric, before a tournament, do you play or practice at all the day before a tournament to rest your body? Or do you recommend practicing the day before? And did you enjoy saying Cutie Fruity, Mr. Brown?
There you go.
Yes, I did. Hold on just a second. I'm going to try something. Okay, now
Yeah. Well, for me, day before tournaments is something I would much rather spend, maybe not necessarily, but I would rather spend it playing, trouble holes.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, if I'm playing a course that has 2 or 3 holes that are very difficult and I'm having troubles with, then I can go out and practice just those holes. Because, there's always holes on the course that you know exactly what you're doing on. But there's always that hole that you need that extra work on. So I like to show up early and get my rounds on the courses early and then be able to practice those holes and then maybe throw some putts on the day before. But I don't like to play the day before, maybe 81 holes would be really too much.
Yeah, that might be way too much for a big tournament. All right, the next one is from Bassman. That's correct. Did I say that right? Bassman or Bassman? I think it's Bassman. Oh, here we go. So right here. First for the breeze. For correct enunciation, bass is pronounced by this as you see bass. So there you go, Bassman. You must be a big time fisher. All right, from the past show, I've heard you talk a few times about what extra items you carry in your bag during your tournament. One thing few people ever carry, and it's a must for me, is fingernail clippers. That's true. No emergency chewing a broken nail. Those hands are dirty. Finally, for my question. Sometimes I will overpack for a tournament and carry too much weight in my golf bag. Or I already notice the weight. How much water do you carry? Also, is it legal to stop at your car during a round if you park very close to the tee and pick up snacks, clothing, etc.?
Cool, good question. I usually take an algae bottle, one of these 32-ounce bottles, and fill it before the round. And most good events, at least, are going to have water on the course. And the beauty of being here in Sweden is you can pretty much drink the pond water.
Right.
So that's just that good of water out here. But yeah, I usually just carry one bottle of water and try and fill it up periodically through the round. And as far as the other question goes, can you go to your car? Absolutely, you can go to your car and grab some snacks or another biscuit if you need one, as long as you're not holding up play. So if it's your turn on the tee, then I don't recommend doing it. You have the 30 seconds to throw, but you can absolutely go to your car.
The next question is from @13 Collie. He says, I would like to know how the Trilogy designers come up with each rating on their discs. Is each disc tested before giving its rating? Also, is the rating more true to a brand new or beat-in disc? Hello, Mr. Trilogy designer.
Well, I can kind of answer this one a little bit. I know when we have new discs, at least, Dynamic Discs has some new discs coming out, like the Felon and the Freedom. Both of those discs were ones that I tested. I threw in the field, and we all kind of come together and collaborate on the ratings of them, the speed, the glide, and we kind of talk back and forth until we have the correct answer. And that's how we do it with Dynamic Discs. Now, with the Latitude line, I know Tomas throws them. I know Venus throws a lot of them. And, sometimes they're not able to throw them because of their winners. So it's a little different. So they, usually they run them over to us to get a good rating on them.
Am I understanding it right? I mean, there is no real governing body or governing numbers that says because this disc does that, because it does this, it's a certain speed or it's a certain rating.
Not necessarily. It's going, and it is a brand new disc, not a beginning disc that you test. You want to test it brand new, right? So you get that right out of the box rate that it's going to be coming from.
I think the Moss is giving us some inside scoop, open, been around since disc golf began. Maybe he's not that old.
But he's been around since it began.
He's not a very fast rider, if anything.
We got 2 cards.
The numbers are set for a throw that reaches 340 feet.
There you go.
Well, there you go. So there is kind of a standard.
So we don't max them out.
So you don't go out and just rip it as hard as you can to see how far it can go. So it's based off of a 340-foot rate.
There you go.
Which is how many meters? Yeah. Between 340 to 380 feet, which is equal to what, like 100 meters? 110 meters? Okay. Awesome.
Oh, okay. Here's a good question. This one's from Rasmus, and Rasmus says, Hi guys, love the show and also love the Ranger. For me, the best backpack on the market. The only thing I miss on it is a rainfly. Do you have any plans to make a rainfly? And I have one more question for Eric. When will the new EMAC in the back, as you've talked about, be released, or have I missed it?
You haven't missed it. Not yet. I know we've thrown around the ideas of doing the rainfly. I'm sure that we're still talking about doing it. I can't say yes or no if it will be coming out or not. I know the original one that we came out with wouldn't work with the bag because the straps would be too big of a pain. But I know that, for me at least, I don't usually have trouble with my Ranger bag in the rain. When it rained in Stockholm, I just put all my discs in the middle compartment and zipped it closed. It was water resistant as is, but I'm sure we'll dive into it again at some point, but when we have everything going on, the shoes, the shorts, everything coming out, it's kind of hard to, some things do get left on the burners.
Oh, yeah, speaking of new things, we got the new tank tops.
The tank tops.
So if you like wearing the tank tops, we got new Dynamic Discs tank tops and ringer tees. The ringer tees are where the sleeve and the collar are different colors. So this kind of fun.
Tank top. Sun's out, guns out.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So as far as in the bag, yes, tonight when the weather is nicer and the sun's going down a little bit, we're going to be in one of the fairways of the Skellefteå course. Beautiful fairways. Thank you to Ross for that. Excellent. That's a new apparel that we were talking about to make sure we knew. But in one of the fairways, I said, we're going to have that now. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to work on it. So maybe it's
It'll probably be a couple weeks before it comes out. When we get home, we basically turn around and go to Worlds.
I know. The next question is from Mr. Al McIserbaum. Hey, Emac, have you ever thrown the Latitude 64 Cetus? I know many people like using overstable putters for approach shots. Are you one of those people? Thanks for putting an awesome podcast for us.
Awesome. I just mentioned that. Yes, you did. That I throw that disc. Yeah, I do. It is in my bag. It is an approach disc. I go back and forth between it and the West Side Shield, depending on the wind. If it's really windy, that's when the Cetus really comes into play.
Yeah. Next question is from Chris. Chris says, "Hey, I just wanted to ask Eric if throwing the lightweight discs affected his normal bag." Oh, well, you can. You mentioned it. Like, did you take on any of your heavier discs in favor of the lighter stuff? Thanks for the great show and answering all of our questions. What, did he?
No. I mean, I don't understand the question, I guess.
Well, I guess when you were practicing for
When I was
Japan.
practicing for Japan,
Yeah.
it was different, a little different, but it was still the same shots we're throwing. Putting was a lot different, but a lot of people struggle with the putting, but I thought putting was easier with the lighter discs, and I even recommended people grabbing a lighter putter if they want to get a little bit more glide, make sure it's not so circle. So try to find one that's a little bit lighter. Yeah, exactly. Something with a little bit more glide that maybe gets to the basket, but I didn't transition any light discs into my bag. No, that was his question.
All right, this one's from Ryan. Ryan says, "Hey guys, thanks for all you do, especially disc recommendations. After hearing rave reviews about the Truth, I bought an EMAC Lucid and hit my first ace after just a couple of throws. It's a new staple in my bag. The question is whether or not the cut we had at doubles match counts. So, my partner's disc went through the side of the cage and came to rest in the basket. It was deemed as not a valid shot and he took an extra stroke. What are the rules regarding how a disc must enter a basket?"
A disc must enter the basket above the basket through the chains. It must come in, hit chains. I mean, it doesn't have to hit chains. Come into the basket. And as far as wedging goes, like if it would have wedged from the side, it wouldn't count unless it wedges from the inside. So if it hits chains and it wedges down from the inside of the basket, then it counts. And it's kind of weird also if it's like a blind hole, and you throw a shot and you walk up to the hole and your disc is wedged and nobody saw it, then it counts.
Wow.
That's one of those weird PDGA rules. But no, if you cut through the basket, it doesn't count. You have to mark it underneath the basket and drop it. So you don't take an extra stroke, right? Or like you said, but it's not an extra stroke. It's just like you missed the putt.
Okay. The next one is from Nicholas. Nicholas says, "Hey guys, congrats on a year of a great podcast. Question is about the Hybrid Classic and the new Patriotic Judge. Is this possibly going to be a new line of plastic? I felt a stiletto in the same Milky Opto and it's amazing. It's the first plastic I felt that is very similar to Innover's old CE plastic. I would love a St. Pro in the same plastic, and I feel this would be a great permanent run of plastic to the lineup. I know this might be more of a question for someone else, but perhaps you can pass the word on. Well, guess what, Nicholas? You're right here.
10 feet.
10 feet away, we can pass the word on to the man. So keep up the great work, and may there be many more years of Eric in the booth.
Thanks, Nicholas. It's a nice question. So the Hybrid Classic is really nice. It is actually a good plastic. I throw a couple of hybrid discs. I've got a Hybrid Truth in my bag. I know a lot of it was made strictly for Dymax purposes. I can't personally answer if it's going to be around. I know somebody that's around here that may know if it's going to be.
We'll have to talk to him about it. See what he said.
Yeah, we'll ask him about it later. But I can't guarantee yes or no. But I know you should grab up as much as you can right now.
All right, the next one is from Samuel. Samuel says, "Hey, Eric and the Breeze. I live in a slowly developing disc golf community, a small ways from Myrtle Beach area. Me and my fellow disc golf addicts live 45 minutes from the new course. The question is, how can we get our community more involved in disc golf with the ultimate goal of getting a disc golf course closer to home?"
That's a tough one. I know first you got to have the property, the land. You got to have a proper park that will have it. A big thing to do is get kids involved, get the schools involved. Buy a couple baskets, or donate a basket to a local middle school for their gym class. Put on clinics at schools, and then let the city see what you're doing and how involved you are with disc golf and positive disc golf. What disc golf can do for a community, like in Prairie, Kansas, for instance. It's done amazing things for the city of Emporia. And it's just something that the Chamber of Commerce is something. The Parks Department. You just need to make sure everybody in the city is on the same page with how the positive sides of disc golf.
Right, like you said, let's start with schools or places where kids go after school, because they're always looking for new activities for their kids to do, and especially something that gets them outside, not sitting in front of a computer or playing video games.
It's something like disc golf that's cheap.
Right. Very low cost entry to barrier entry. What am I saying? Oh, okay. The next one is from Brandon, and Brandon says, "What advice do you give to a 16-year-old junior? I've been playing since I was 5 and started through competition 3 years ago and won a B-tier tournament in rec and never lost in juniors. What advice would you give a young up-and-comer?"
Wow. Well, I mean, apparently keep doing what you're doing. If you already won a recreational division tournament at the age of 16 and you've never lost in the junior division, that's pretty impressive. I would say, right now don't work on distance. Go out when you're going out to practice, work on more approaches, accuracy, and cutting. Because those are really the top 3 important things in disc golf and tournament play.
The next one is from Jeff Gorilla. He says, "Word up, apparently I missed the entry deadline for the jingle contest." Yes, apparently you did. But that is okay, because I didn't really record a jingle anyway. So why did you bring it up, Jeff Gorilla, for Gorilla? As a huge fan of Dynamic Disc, I'd be super extra honored if you use it one time to open your show. Now for your enjoyment. Okay.
Oh, it's a link to his.
Oh. All right. Well, Jeff, I'll have to check it out and see what it sounds like. All right, let's move on to the question of Tim. And we just lost the thing. Hold on, fellas. This has been a real trying time.
What happened?
The battery went dead. I unplugged this thinking it would maybe have the back. It's picking up on.
Hey, welcome back.
All right, let's move on to the next question. It's from Tim, and Tim says, "I have been asked by my local government to help build a new course. I am so excited that our city is so clean. You mentioned building the course in heavy forest. At least 3 holes will get carved out of the woods. How do you plan the cut? Did you go out and clear brush first and go back and then come back to cut down trees? Or did you just walk out and fly trees for cutting? I guess my question is, what are the main steps involved in cutting a fairway out of the woods? It sounds complicated and difficult to keep those fairways straight."
It can be. It absolutely can be. It's important to have a vision of what the hole is going to look like. And for me, when I did the course in Manchester, I went through with ribbon. I had different colors of ribbon that signified different things. So yellow meant tree stays, but it gets trimmed. The leaves, the branches get trimmed off of it. Pink, take it out. Completely just remove the whole tree. And, all the brush, of course, on every single hole gets moved. And then we had boundaries that was white. So anything between these 2 trees is gone. Clear the fairway out. So that's how I did it, and then of course the city of Manchester hired somebody to come in and cut the trees down, and they started by cutting the big trees down first, which I think makes sense because if you're cutting down a big tree and something else goes wrong, that essentially another tree has to come out instead of design the fairway around.
Are you talking about the video you showed me?
Yeah,
There was one video that I had this, I don't know what you call it, but
it was on an excavator.
yeah, and it was like just the tree. It was just coming down. It was like chewing up the tree. Yeah.
It's really cool. It's actually on, if you search for the Hollows Disc Golf Course, you can go, it's on Facebook, you go there, you can see the video.
Okay.
It's on the Facebook page.
Yeah, so you can see the progress. I don't like that name,
The Hollows, that's really cool. I'm really excited for that course to be put in and finished and everything. So be there when they do it and check from the tee. It's Tomas's advice. Make sure you're there when the trees are being cut. So maybe the ribbon falls off the tree or something along those lines happen. But you're there to make sure that no, that tree stays. Or, let's get this one out of the way. So it's good to be there too. You're the one that has the vision.
Our connector was from DJ, and DJ says, great show, appreciate all you guys do for the sport. I've just seen the YouTube episode, so I'm not sure if you have covered this. If you have, my bad. My question is for both of you. What is the most unique or unusual shot you can remember someone making? For example, I was holding my small dog while teeing off and hit an ace. It'd be awesome to hear about some of your experiences. Also, I'd like to know the exact point on the basket you aimed and cut to. The pole, or similar link, any advice would be awesome. Thanks, I know this for all the work you've got to do.
For me, on the putting part, I'm a spin putter right-handed, so typically where I'm aiming is about 3 to 4 lengths just above the rim and just off to the right side of the pole. So therefore, when the disc is spinning, it spins into the heart of the chains as opposed to the left side of the spinning. Okay. That's where I'm aiming on my putts. And usually since I'm concentrating on that one putt, on that one link. As soon as I see that link, that's when I go.
And Tomas is signaling that he aims for the link.
Right at the pole. Right at the pole. Right at the link. Just like me. Tomas is just like me. What is the weirdest thing you've ever seen on a disc golf course, Tomas?
Weirdest shot or unusual unique. You can say it, you don't have to write it.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay. You know what? The one I thought was good, for me, it's the one I caught on video. It was Giggler, Donald Ellsworth, and it was at Cedar Hill. I don't remember the whole number, but there's you walk on the pond over here, and the basket was here, and there's this huge tree, okay? And he landed on, from me looking at the video camera, the basket was on the right side. He landed, like, on the left side of my view, and the tree was right in the middle of it. He took and he did a thumber shot, and he threw it, and it went right over, like at the middle point of the tree, came up and right in the basket.
Yes.
Complete. I mean, it wasn't a blind shot because you could see the basket between the trees, but it was just amazing.
Up and over.
that. And I can't remember what tournament.
I actually have a Tomahawk Hicks.
You have a tomahawk?
Tomahawk.
Yes.
Or UD, whatever you call it. An overhead shot back in that field when an amateur was still playing, still learning the game. And there was a shot in Emporia that we used to have. The only real shot on it was up and over, or through a really tight gap, and up and over was easy. I remember the weekend before, I threw the shot, and it came down in the basket and bounced out. And then the very next week, same shot, same disc, playing this time at Stadium. That's probably one of the coolest things.
I saw a bounce out ace. I guess it's not an ace, but Wiggins.
David Wiggins, it wasn't ace. It wasn't ace, right?
Oh, yeah, ace front, but it hit. It
was a bounce out.
Bounce out ace. Yeah. And how would you say the distance was?
I think that hole was roughly 340 feet.
Yeah, and he did a huge, big hyzer. Just, man, you guys know Wiggins. He bombed it out there. And I mean, it smashed into the basket and bounced right out. That was crazy. Bounced right out. Let's see, let's move on to the next question from Alex. Alex says, 2 questions. During my last tournament, I had a cut land on the top top of the basket, which was on a hill. If everyone else is further away and cuts out knocking my disc off the basket and rolling down the hill, do I play from that spot?
Let's answer that one first.
Okay.
No. No, because this disc has come to rest. It's no different than if the disc comes to rest on the side of a creek, like water flowing,
Okay.
and it stops to come to rest. You know, water's hitting it and bringing it back in. That's
Okay.
not OB.
Okay.
You know, it's no different than if you're playing 2 meter rule, and your disc comes to rest in a tree. It stops and it falls before you get there. It still has come to rest. So no, where he would mark it is directly underneath the basket and cut out.
The second question is, if I throw OB and I'm unable to find my disc, if the group is in agreement that the disc went OB at a certain spot, do I play from the OB spot? The play it as if I lost the disc and throw it back. So just,
Yeah, it usually depends on the OB, but mostly, yes, you're just going to play it. I mean, if your group's saying that, yes, this is where you went out, this is the last place that you're seeing that agreement,
then that's when you can play it.
with an OB stroke.
Okay, Tomas says, I threw a phaser that cut deep in a wooden fence and stuck there.
Stuck to a fence. Oh, wow.
Wow.
It's illegal. Looked like a knife.
Ah, yes. Oh, yeah. Wow.
All right, the next question is from Ben, and Ben says, Eric, what is a good disc to switch to? Trilogy from the Wizard.
Oh,
By the way, love you guys.
the Wizard is a putter from Gateway. It's a big bead. It's got a bead on it.
Okay.
So probably the best choice would be 2013 Drill Search Disc of the Year, which is the Judge.
The Dynamic Discs Judge.
That would probably be your go-to putter. It comes in multiple plastics. I believe it's the one disc we have in all of our plastics.
Okay.
Fusion, Lucid, Classic, which is the hard, Blend, which is the medium blend, and Soft. So there's many variety of the judges you get out there, and yeah, that'd be definitely amazing.
And I have two of them. I have a Classic Judge, which I used to putt, and then I have the Fusion Judge, because it has a nice like Dynex on it, and that's my drill. I don't putt with one, I only throw with one. The next one is from Rec Rob. He says, warning, disclaimer. Okay, this is one of our disclaimer questions.
Disclaimers.
So, real quick, just before we move on to the question, we want to make sure everybody understands that the answers to the questions are strictly opinions of myself or Eric McCabe, and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of Dynamic Discs, Latitude 64, or Westside Discs. They are just that. They are our opinions. So he says, sorry ahead of time to put either of you, what? And sorry ahead of time if this puts either of you on the spot, huh? So the topic/question. A player that shall not be named unless you wish to, gets in trouble with the law. In my opinion, if a player is found guilty of a crime, just like in all sports, should be punished via the PGA. But I'm unaware of any such rule or procedures dealing with law and disc golf. What are your guys' thoughts on it? If X player gets in trouble for X crime, should that player be fined, suspended, etc. by the PGA? My thoughts is the PGA needs to be on top of things like this just for the simple fact that disc golf tends to be thought of as that hippie sport. What do you guys think?
Ooh, that's a good question right there. Well, I suppose it depends on the crime committed, but absolutely, I think the PGA should step forward, and especially if it's a touring player. I think that maybe they should be penalized for the crime. Is that not recording?
Yeah.
And I don't. It's a tough question to answer, but yes, I honestly feel that it should be at least somewhat. The PGA should definitely step in and do something, and I believe they do. If it's a big enough crime, I believe that they will step in and suspend players or even ban players.
Is this the question I asked Felder in the room?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So we had a similar question that I asked Felder. right? And the way I understood it, he said that if a player mentions the PDGA or that they are a professional disc golfer, then the PDGA can, if he said will, step in. And I'm not sure what they'll do
If disc golf is mentioned.
Right. In other words, if they get caught or they get arrested and they get interviewed and they say, what's going on? And they say, oh, well, I'm playing disc golf, or I'm a professional disc golfer. Mm-hmm. Then the PDGA can say that you are representing disc golf, or you mentioned it, and that they can take action in it. And that's when something will happen. The next question is from Peter, and Peter says, thanks as always for your work on the podcast. What strategy would you suggest when you have to throw a short-range, heavy hyzer approach shot around a large tree standing between you and the basket? By short range, I'm thinking 50 to 75 feet. My usual play is to use the most stable driver I have, throwing kind of soft on a strong hyzer, praying that it won't roll down the hill when it lands. Is there a better way to approach a shot and any discs that you'd recommend?
I would recommend something more along the lines of, third time we've mentioned this, the Cenas. Because it isn't overstable, and it's going to be more catchy, more gravity. It's not going to be more inclined to skip or pop up and roll away. But if it's something that short, it should be fairly easy to get up and down around the tree. It's almost like a really comfortable.
We're going to do one last question.
Thanks for bearing with us, everybody.
Yeah, this has been kind of quite a trying, challenging episode, no doubt. Okay, this one's from John. John says, hey guys, love the show. 2 questions. First, I'm looking for a good mid-range disc that will turn when I need it to. I usually use my Inba Goblin, but they stopped making it, and the Chief doesn't turn quickly enough for the shots that I needed to turn on. Any suggestions for a disc mode? I'm nothing against Inba for disc golf, but I've been buying more DB. Haven't tried any Prodigy or Westside yet, but I'm open to trying it. So what's your answer to that one before we move on to the second one?
That answer is very easy, and it is the Latitude 64 Fuse. That is my answer. Fuse is great. Westside has the Tersus as well. I know you throw the Tersus.
I like the Tersus.
I've played a lot around with Tomas lately, and his Fuse throwing ability is amazing. Matter of fact, the other night, after we had the food and drinks and went out and had some fun on the course, late night round, we all threw one round challenge. We all threw the Fuse, and it was fun. So definitely, I would recommend the Fuse.
And then the second question is, I've noticed on my own throw that I do not seem to throw a driver disc that weighs 175 grams. But when I throw the same mold in 174 grams, it goes great. Am I not doing something right, or is my arm speed strength just isn't there at this time? Maybe someone else is having the same issue and would benefit from your input as well. Thanks, guys, and love the show.
That's a tricky question, I guess, because
it's like 1 gram.
1 gram really should not affect any at all. For me, when I'm grabbing drivers, to throw, I'll throw anything 172 and up. I usually don't like to go too low under 160s. Like 169, I feel like that's maybe just a little too light, just because when you hit it a few times, take some chunks out, it's going to get lighter and lighter. So I'd like to start out as heavy as possible.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't feel a 75 fly any different from a 74. Maybe mentally it does, right? So therefore you think it does, therefore it probably will.
Okay. All right, well, that's all the questions we're going to have. We're about an hour on the YouTube. Guys, we want to thank you for bearing with us. I know the audio was the greatest. And for the iTunes people, this is going to be a short show because of technical difficulties. But again, this is a little quick. Tomas says, no one can feel more than maximum 2 grams apart. Okay?
That makes sense.
Yeah, you do a blind test.
Blind test, nobody can tell the difference.
Yeah. All right. Well, like I said, thanks for joining in. Thanks for putting up with this episode. Some of the technical difficulties we've had. We've always loved you guys listening and watching the show. We're coming live straight from Sweden, having a great time. The next time you hear from us, we'll be back in Emporia, Kansas. Back in the old room again. and we will putting them in quickly reviews for our trip to make it out to the world. So, yes. Thanks again, guys. We'll catch you next time. Have a good one.